morning, everybody. A little bit late. All kinds of stuff going on this morning. But I'm here. So, welcome to Psychic Cafe. It's Friday, the weekend. So, yes. I'm a bit flustered because, you know, when you're about to go live, well, maybe you don't know this, but I do. When I'm about to go live and then there's like stuff that comes up, you know, it doesn't go smoothly. It's like, oh, but what, you know, the software goes, but what about this and what about that? And I'm like, hang on a minute. I was going live. You should have told me that before. Anyway, I made it. So I'll be doing a live twin flame read this morning. Also, mini reads as well. So if you want one of those one question readings, you can book in for one of those on my website. I popped a link for it in the live chat there. Hi Maria, how are you? I need some stuff on my hands before I do anything. Dry finger ends again. Blue nails today. Decided to switch it up because so many of them were wrecked. Took it all off, started again. So blue sparkly nails. Okay, mini reads, who've we got? Mini reads, I think we've got one in, yes, one. Okay, who is it? It is Sharon. Hello, Sharon. Wherever that is. Madison, is it? MD? I don't know. I don't know the states at all. Will my husband have to have invasive surgery and will he survive it? Oh, serious questions. Will he have to have invasive surgery? No. Whew. Let me find out a little bit about this. Medical stuff is always a little bit not really the right medium for it, although I guess why you would want to know the answers, of course, to put your mind at rest. But anything about this? Okay, you're on track creating, right, so the work that you've been doing, the inner work that you've been doing, and outer work too, whatever it is that you were trying to do to fix this situation with him, what he's trying to do to fix the situation, you're on track, you're creating the outcome that it is that you want. So I don't know, if you're like changing diet and doing other stuff, then you're on track with that. So keep doing what it is that you're doing. Keep on looking for those alternatives. I'm not saying like medical should always be ignored or whatever, and always look for alternatives, because I don't believe that that's true. Always. It's not always true anyway. Sometimes it is. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing and you're creating the outcome that you want to create. Whew. I'm glad it wasn't bad news for you, because I don't like to be the deliverer of bad news in these things. So I hope that puts your mind at rest. Okay. In plant news, this has got new soil in it because I tried to fix the other one. Did you see the other one? I put it on social media. My plant it was in that pot. It was one of these ones, but there was 3 in there. Now there's 2 in there because it was getting too big, and I put one in another pot and it just died. I went to try and rescue it to put more soil in it and stuff, and it just fell apart. When I touched it, it was just gone. So, hi Philomena. I used to have a teddy called Philomena. Good to see you in here. You're the flower, are you? You're the flower each time. I'll be doing another pick a card read today and putting that out. That's going to be how they feel about you. So check that out later. Well, let's do a twin flame read right now. And if anyone wants one of those mini reads, those one question readings, then book them in at any point. I've popped the link there in the... I'll put it again. There you go. So you can do that if you've got personal questions about anything. It doesn't have to be about twin flames or relationships or anything. Okay. Let's get some cards out. See what's going on. I had 2 parcels outside waiting for me this morning. I didn't get up early enough to go for my run, but I got up early enough to go outside by the pool and did 15 minutes of skipping, and then some push-ups and some step-ups and some one-legged squats off a podium thing. Podium? It's more of like a circular step, cylindrical steps up to a raised area up there. Yeah. So I feel alive this morning, getting my little bit of exercise in, get my heart going, get my blood pumping. Oh no, what have we got going on here? Twin Flames got 9 of Swords, anxiety. This came up in the energy update today as well. Anxiety. Someone could have anxiety about something. In the energy update, it came up with somebody wanting to come forward with some kind of romantic offer. It was Knight of Cups stuff, so. And 9 of Swords. So I could be anxious about that. Or someone could be coming towards you and you could be anxious. Ooh, falling in love. Someone's falling in love and they're anxious about offering. It was a teddy, and it was a teddy that my grandma had knitted me. It was the most peculiar thing. It was a mouse. It was this long. It was really long. Her legs were like long tubes, and I had really long arms too, big ears, you know. I think it was a mouse. It was a peculiar thing, but I loved that teddy. I could strap it around me. I could have it so its arms were around me and tied in front of me, and its legs tied in front of me too. It was very versatile. That's probably why I loved it so much. But Philomena, it was its name. Philomena, the weird, and it was purple, and it was like really dark maroony purple stripes and dark green. I wish we had proper like cameras back then. It'd be nice to see just how weird that thing was, but it was well loved by me. I can't remember why I call it Philomena. There must have been somebody, I must have heard that name somewhere, and I'm like, that's a cool name. Justice for the Empress. Yes. Justice for the Divine Feminine, at last. What you've been waiting for, Divine Feminines. So I think we're talking about Divine Masculine, loving, falling in love and getting nervous about explaining something. It's a good story. It is a good story. My grandma, she was always sick. I was thinking about her the other day, in fact. And I was thinking about them this morning. My granddad, her husband, he was a drunk, but he was a lovable drunk. And yeah, he exercised every morning. That's why I was thinking about him this morning. He exercised every morning. He knew that it was important. But yeah, he was always down the pub. And if he came back, he would be falling over drunk. He was a gambler too. I've got alcoholism on both sides of my family. That's why it's my weak point. But yeah, she was always sick. She was always like staying home and sick. Oh, the last pick a card read. Crystal and flower, different people. Oh. Yeah, it changes. It often feels like different people to me. Like, I can tell when I'm picking up the same energies when I'm doing flower and crystal. They're not the same energies as each other each time. It's different people in the energies that I'm picking up anyway. It feels like different people to me. But I can tell when it's the same person's energy that I'm picking up from weeks back or from other pick a card reads. I like doing pick a card reads. It's interesting. It's interesting picking up energies, communal energies like that, and reading it. Yeah. King of Wands, but look, it's the feminine version. So that seems to be the feminine taking action. Five of Cups and the Eight of Wands. feeling like you're missing out, and so I might be missing out, so I need to communicate to move things forward. So some kind of like a fear of lack in the divine feminine, instead of waiting for the divine masculine to do something about it, is nervous, is not doing something about it. So she takes, from a fear of lack, 5 of Cups, she takes the initiative, she takes action, being the King of Wands, and initiates communication. That's what that's saying. Thank you, Philomena. Okay, what next then? What next for this story? Book of Shadows. I kind of want to go into Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine now, even though I haven't yet. We've got Divine Masculine over here and we've got Divine Feminine over here, so let's do it like that. So where's Divine Masculine at then? So we're Divine Masculine. Yeah, see, 2 of Cups. Didn't we have this energy on Wednesday too? He wants to give a love offer. There's a new guy at CrossFit. I would say he's around my age, perhaps a little bit younger. Only a little bit though, perhaps a little bit older, I don't know. Seems nice. Don't know where he's from. Got an interesting name. Don't know how long he's staying for. Let's see if he's there today too. 2 of Cups. So he wants to give a love offer, huh? Elemental of water, is feeling emotional, is really feeling it. Ace of Cups. He's got the feels for the Divine Feminine. Wisdom. Wisdom is when the heart and the mind align. Good question, Maria. Is it saying that we shouldn't take action because we're coming from fear of lack? Fear of missing out, that is. Focusing more on what you're losing rather than what you can gain, kind of thing. Like, but sometimes, you know, that gets us into action. It's not as bad a thing as you think. What I mean by that is sometimes we hold back so much, we don't have the courage, and it's only when we think that something is slipping out of our fingers that we'll take action on it, and it's the nudge that we need. We're not punished by the law of attraction for being human, right? For being human and needing certain eases to be there. We're not. I don't agree with that, with the law of attraction. Anything that you start with the fear of lack. I get the teachings, because it's, for some things it's true. For some things it's true. So if you are like to start a business out of the fear of lack kind of thing, it's not going to go well. You're not going to be making the right decisions, always going to be trying to claw the money and stuff like that. So I do understand why those teachings are in there. But for things like this, if you feel like you're about to miss out on something, and that's what gets you to take the action, that's not going to be a bad thing. So I would say no, Maria. I think it's saying we're getting the nudge to take action, perhaps because of this energy, Empress energy. It's funny, I was just watching Gemstone Tarot's daily as I was getting ready, and she was noticing the Empress card, saying she's never seen an Empress doing anything. The Empress just sits there. It's a good observation. But if she's building an empire, then she's got to do something, right? Words. She speaks. She doesn't do anything, but she speaks. That's what it is. 8 of Wands is communication. So doing something about it is communication. So the Empress can speak, but she can't take action. So no asking them out on dates and stuff like that. But speaking, yes. Anyway, wisdom, Divine Masculine is in wisdom here. So his heart and his mind coming together, aligning. Let's just read this and see if we can get some more from it. Where are you, wisdom? There's a lot going on outside and it's distracting me. There's a chicken cat. She went missing for a few days. I was worried about her. Where she'd been. Wisdom, combining intelligence and intuition, seeking the whole truth. Yeah, it's heart and mind aligned. It's intellect and intuition together equals wisdom. Oi, chicken, chicken, chicken! That was a bit slow. She's just standing there carrying on with what she's doing. And I open the door. So his heart and his mind are coming together. Got some wisdom. Let's get one more for Divine Masculine. It's the Divine Masculine card. Woo! Nice. Okay. Divine Feminine then. Perhaps we'll get our answer, Maria, of the conundrum of the 5 of Cups. 10 of Fire. Stars aligning. Element of fate in that, the world. Okay, we're talking about cycles, aren't we? This deck, let me just check the 10 of Fire. Stars. The events in question cannot be changed. There's a role that must be fulfilled or an action that must be taken. The actions we take in the face of unalterable facts define our nature and shape our character. And the World card could be different action than we were used to taking. With the World card there. There's also a warning in the daily today of not doing things that we used to do before, especially if someone has got some troubles and we step in and we start doing everything for them. Being aware of that, if you've been codependent in that kind of way, doing too much, needing to be needed, doing too much for the other person. You know, attracted to the underdog, attracted to someone that's got problems because you can step in and you can help them. It makes you feel needed and it makes you feel worthy in a relationship because you can do something for them, and that's not a good thing to get into, dynamic to get into. I don't know where the World card is. It's probably right at the start, is it? I hate this deck, this book. I like the deck. The book is just so rubbish. Random, all over the place. I think the Magician's first. No, the World card is first. Yeah, seasons, phases of life. Connected to and flowing from the feminine divine and contained within the masculine divine. Completeness, wholeness, a sense that all is right with the world, feeling connected. There's something to this. When the divine feminine feels like it's meant to be, it just is. It's when she's got a knowing about it. It flows from the divine, the feminine, flows from the feminine, the divine feminine. It says feminine divine here and it's confusing me. Flows from the divine feminine and is contained within the divine masculine. like a puzzle, this one. Interesting cards, though. I'm feeling a divine timing kind of thing, but it's not divine timing like circumstances outside of ourselves are sorted out. It's divine timing like the insides of the divine masculine, the insides of the divine feminine, beliefs and how they're feeling is aligned. Those are the stars that are lining up. In bulk. I cannot remember. In bulk. What does she look like? I've got to look at the pictures on these because what it says on the card isn't the same as it says in the book, not even for the things. It says Ace of Cups, it says chalices in the book. It says in bulk on the thing, it says what? The star in the book. It's just so random. It's not in alignment. This deck and the book is not in alignment at all. Anyway. In bulk means in the belly. Purification, cleaning things out. But it's healing, hope, peace, comfort, guidance, direction, a light in the darkness, gentle refreshment. I'm getting that feeling in the belly that the divine feminine will know. She's the one that can pick up the alignment. Maybe that's why divine feminine is taking action on it. It can be subtle. Like when we know feelings, we can tune into the feelings of somebody and know that the timing is right to say something. It could be like that. A maiden of air. Communication again. Let's read the maiden of air out. Because it's a maiden, so it's like tentative. It's that youthful energy. Maiden of air. She encourages intuitive, spontaneous, joyful communication. There. So the divine feminine is going to communicate. She's going to feel the alignment. She's going to communicate. She's not taking action like being in the masculine, but she's communicating something, and it's intuitive, spontaneous. So it's when she feels that alignment happening. No pressure. Chicken wants to go out. She keeps me moving. Okay. The Miserable Ladies. If anyone wants a mini read, if you've got personal questions, put one in while I'm going along. These shows are very quiet these days. Hardly any people are watching my YouTube channel anymore. It's really tanked. Along with my business too. It's a bit scary, in fact. Money isn't coming in anymore. I think I sold one deeper dive in the last one, or maybe two. It's scary. My source of income has dwindled. I have to do something else. It's just too difficult to get YouTube channels to. I can't do any more videos. It's already got a lot of videos. I put out a lot of videos compared to other channels. Not compared to other some tarot channels. Just the amount that you have to do for these tarot channels is ridiculous. For YouTube to show people. Anyway. Divine Masculine. Let's get the Miserable Ladies out. Divine Masculine. So it's like he's on the precipice of. He's feeling it. On the precipice of this love connection. This Two of Cups, Two of Water. The love offer. Seven of Wands. It's like a self-protection card. If I'm reading it like normal tarot, but this deck isn't normal tarot. The Magician keeps on coming up as the Magician lately. And the Ace of Pentacles. Wow, manifesting that, planting that seed, big offer. You too, Maria. Yeah, I think it must be going on for a lot of people at the moment, because it can't just be me. I mean, it must be customers, you know, and that's why it's happening to me too. I thought about that, maybe, well, Americans are what? Gearing up towards celebrations that they've got soon. I'm thinking, I'm sure it's going to turn around. Like the YouTube channel one, that's the thing, is like, once it gets quiet, whatever, however it's trending is how it carries on, unfortunately. You have to look me up every day. Get random new channels, right? The newbies, they come up. It's not fair. I've been doing this for a long time. But yeah, YouTube does prefer like new creators. But I started my channel years and years ago. Probably would have served me better if I'd have started a new channel when I started doing the regular content, but then it's not tied to my business name like this one is. Yeah, it's annoying, isn't it, Bobby? I know. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating. And there's nothing you can do. I mean, I do paid advertising. You can't do it on YouTube, unfortunately, but I do paid advertising on Facebook to get people to my YouTube channel. So it's the little growth, hardly any growth. I'm paying for it. I'm paying for it. And at the moment, there's more money going out than there's coming in. Not ideal. Power of gratitude. Should start that new YouTube channel about fitness and stuff. Maybe it's time to stop this nonsense. Six of Swords, movement. Okay, well, let's get into this and find out. Oh, the sun. Sun up time. Let's come over the hill and over the trees. Well, let's find out what these cards really mean in this deck. Seven of Wands. To me, it's about self-protection. In this deck, it's about, even if we're not feeling perfectly confident inside, we can draw upon the energy of the universe to help bolster us up a bit. The universe has unlimited energy, so all we need to do is hold tight to our courage and ask for that boost to get us through. So having the strength to stand up for himself and his ideas. And then the Magician in this deck. Presume that it's the same as every other deck. Let's see. He has all his tools in place and has created his sacred space and is clear on what he hopes to accomplish. He is but a few short moments and few important words away from manifesting change in his life and in the world. Wow. Ace of Pentacles. Big cards. This is big. Yeah, I might tend to receive, for sure. For sure. I'll start that new YouTube channel. Like I've been making videos and stuff, nothing to put out there yet. I've just got to do it, really. You know, like formulate. I've been practicing making B-roll clips and editing and all of that kind of thing. But now I need to formulate it. It'll be like one video a week kind of a channel. Involves a lot more editing, so I've been learning that. I've been getting ready for it. Perhaps it's time to take action. Ace of Pentacles. Gifts of the earth are laid before. When we choose to work with them in harmony, they assist us in our endeavours. Any option pursued seems to carry unlimited potential, an opportunity for prosperity, long term. And Six of Swords suggests taking action on it. It can be hard to extricate yourself from a dark or dangerous situation alone. Fortunately, help can usually be found. Seeking the truth for your highest good will reveal guidance for the way out. Hold tight to that truth and follow it until you know where you need to be. I don't feel like the Divine Masculine is in a negative situation. I feel like it's just to me, the Six of Swords, it can be getting out of the choppy waters into the calm waters, but it can also be movement toward where we really want to be. So, Nine of Swords was the right card to come out first. So the Divine Masculine is nervous, anxious, on the verge of movement forward toward the Divine Feminine. But this is big. The Ace of Pentacles is really big. He knows that this is going to be big. Ace of Pentacles, it's going to be long-lasting, prosperous, long-lasting. So he's manifesting it. Okay. Divine Feminine then. But we've got to speak. Is that right? Okay. All 4 cards out, just like that. The High Priestess, the Empress. Divine Feminine tapped into her intuition. So she's the one that feels the alignment. This is it. This is why we have to be the ones to speak. And it might just be a case of the, you know, opening the door. Because I think that's what the Divine Feminine does. The Divine Feminine opens the door for the Divine Masculine to walk through it. So she says something in order for him to feel comfortable enough to approach her. So it's like leading them into it. You know, we have to do that as women. I remember I used to have to do that when I was leaving the corporate, and I did a very specific job. Years before that, I'd been developing a computer system. And I was really good at it. It was a very complicated artificial intelligence system. And I was very good at it. So much so that once it was implemented, I kind of hung around, and there was the one maintaining it and adding on to it. I was just always part of it. It was kind of my baby, seen as my baby, because I knew all the ins and outs of every single part of it. And so when you work in IT, not so great to be left being the maintainer of something, fixing problems and stuff like that. But that's what I was doing. Anyway, I was on this team of maintainers, people that were maintaining all the different systems for that insurance company. And when I resigned, they were like, oh shit, Claire, you need to train somebody up. It's like, whoa, this is a big job, you know? This is a big job to train someone up in all of this. Anyway, they assigned this guy to me, of course. Hardly any women back then working in IT. And he's younger than me. Was he? No, maybe he was older than me. Seemed like he was younger than me. And it was, man, you know, he wouldn't be taught. He wouldn't be told anything. So I had to lead him to it each time and pretend that he'd come up with it. That, I think we've all done it as women. We've had to do it as women, because some men are just like that. And perhaps all men are a little bit like that. But leading them into it, planting that seed and letting them think it was their idea and they've taken action on it, it's that. Because we're the tuned in ones. So High Priestess and the Empress. Then we've got Death and the Nine of Wands. This is personal to the Divine Feminine, this, because the Nine of Wands is, I'm ready for this now. I've done the healing. I've done the healing that I've needed to do. The Death is like, that's ended now. There's a point that the Divine Feminine gets to where she realizes she's no longer the person that she was before. The wounded one that got into relationships that weren't right for her. She's no longer that one anymore. And the Death card is a significant ending of that. And the Nine of Wands is the readiness to be in something new, yes, new, but no, different now, something healthy, because she's healed herself. I just want to tap into that Nine of Wands in this deck. So yeah, it's like that having to work around men so that they think that they come up with it so that their ego isn't. But it's not as bad as that. It's more like nudging them into stepping forward and taking that action toward you. Nine of Wands. Some challenges are harder than others. Nearing the end of her strength, this woman draws on the deepest reserves within her and prepares herself for what she knows will be the final encounter with this particular challenge. Weak, worn and weary, she's not certain of the outcome, but she's prepared to give it all she can. The final challenge. Interesting. What have your challenges been then in relationships lately? Haven't been any relationships lately. What are you talking about? Trying to think what mine are. I guess a caretaking kind of thing. The final challenge might be to not do that this time. My final challenge might be to be okay about taking action without taking it too far and doing everything for them, and would be willing to save someone, provide for someone, be the masculine in that relationship. To be okay about taking some action sometimes, but still remain in the feminine. I guess that's what my death and my 9 of Wands would be. Let's read death. When something ends as a time of mourning, the difficult emotions, anger, bitterness, sadness, and despair are never enjoyable. They must be experienced though. And within even these feelings are hidden gifts that deepen our character, enhance our compassion, and usher in new experiences. The ending of something important. There's something within. With the 9 of Wands. Ending of something important. An important cycle that the Divine Feminine has been in. High Priestess. The Keeper of Dark, Mysterious Knowledge, because what she gives cannot be taught or explained logically. It's sometimes scary. It sometimes seems scary, but there's no way around it. It must be experienced to be known. Muster up some trust, take a hand and dive in. Deep and certain knowledge. You see, that's what I was getting before. When she's got that deep and certain knowledge, that knowing, that's when manifestations happen. Have you found that? I often wonder, like I've had a lot of experiences, like especially with prize draws, I know when I'm going to win it. I know when I'm going to win it, and I don't get, do I know because I've picked up that I'm going to win it, or is it my deep and certain knowing that causes me to win it? I don't know which way around it is. But I always have that deep and certain knowing that this is talking about. And I was picking that up somewhere here too. Somewhere here. When you know. When you know, you know. And the Empress is the Divine Feminine. She expresses herself beautifully in the physical world. She helps things grow by making them comfortable. That stuff that I was talking about, what we have to do with men. By feeding them what they need. That's what it is. You see, when that's taken to the toxic feminine, that's the manipulation, right? She uses that gift to use people. To lead them, to use people. She helps things grow by making them comfortable, by feeding them what they need. How interesting. Okay. You'll know anyway. You don't have to overthink this, because this is saying, like, when the stars align with this High Priestess coming up so much and the Empress, it's like you'll know, you'll feel it when it's aligned, that when that inner alignment, you're both aligned at the same time. hard to know where the boundaries are when you've gone too far, said too much, been too generous. Yeah. You keep giving, that's good. Me, not so much anymore. But since I have been like holding back and not being so generous, not overly generous anyway, I do find like I receive more. I'm treated like royalty now a lot. And I wasn't when I used to give too much. I used to be trying to help everyone out all the time. Yeah, I know. We don't know, do we? Did we foresee something or did we create it? I don't know. I don't know which way around it is. It's probably both. I think I've asked the guides before, it's both because time doesn't exist. Yeah. But time exists for us and we want to know. But it's different than trying to convince ourselves that we know, isn't it? That knowing is different than trying to convince ourselves we know. If you're like, okay, I'm going to law of attraction this thing and like pretend that I know when I don't, it's different. It's the alignment. We pick up on the alignment. I think this seems to be saying that we do need to be a bit manipulative, but isn't it nice the way that put it? It was more like she knows what to give in order to make them comfortable, for them to make the move. Because what we're not doing here is playing games, like giving them an assault course to go over, although that would be fun, wouldn't it? I did new things yesterday. I did a lot of new things yesterday. What did I do? That wasn't new. Hang snatching, that wasn't new. I've done that before. But overhead squats with a barbell. I can feel it too. With a barbell like right up here, arms locked out. Doing a squat, right? A deep squat with that. That is hard. First time I've ever done that. I particularly want to do it again. Don't know, what did we do? The workout was 2 things. Yeah, it was the overhead squats and then toes to bar. Jumping up and hanging onto a bar. And then pulling lats down. And then lifting your toes up to the bar. It's hard. I was just doing knees up. I couldn't get my toes up yet. I've got to work on that one. It's fun though. Doing new stuff. You're too honest. Yeah, I don't want to play games. Same. So I think this is just for us to figure it out ourselves. We know we're not game playing. I'm not saying that everyone isn't. Some people do, but I don't play games, but I'm just not willing to do all the work anymore, and I'm not willing to. I just don't want to take that masculine thing anymore. That masculine role. I'm strong. Yeah, my arms are in good shape. I'm about 22% fat at the moment. I'm trying to bring it down just a little bit. I like to be about 20% fat. Everything's easier. Everything that I do is easier. Like hanging from a bar and doing stuff like that, it's easier when you're lighter. I don't have a lot of fat, but yeah, my arms are getting much stronger. I'm doing a bit of rehab work as well. I took my bands away. I've had my bands attached to the knobs on these chairs because I've got this rehab stuff to do. This lat, this muscle here, this muscle is really strong, not on this side, and it's causing, it's not even delayed onset soreness DOMS, it's muscle soreness, it's straight away, instant. But yeah, I'm trying to build that muscle up. So I've got this thing to do to release it because the tendons get really tight because that muscle's not, and it's painful. So I poke there and that hurts, but it releases it a bit, and then I do my band stretches and stuff like that. Doing rehab work. Holding on to your power instead of giving it away. And isn't that better? We can use it for ourselves instead and make our lives better. It's so much better, so much better. What else? Let's get some of those thingy cards out. These ones. Wild, unknown, named, oracle, whatever it's called. Masculine. So, the divine masculine. It's all looking very promising again. Whoa. So, the divine masculine, first out was the vision. It's had a vision. The riddle, though. The riddle is like, it doesn't believe it to be true, or is trying to figure out whether it's true or not. Storm is the Tower card. It's a surprise. He thinks it's going to fall apart. He's trying to figure it out. So he's had this vision and is like, is it true? Is it true? That's probably why the divine feminine. He's probably had a vision of them together, but it's like coming across the divine feminine and she's quite closed down. That's why she needs to open up that door in some kind of a way. Give him what he needs to feel comfortable enough. The yes, your vision is true kind of thing. The desert and the nectar. So he's feeling, with this desert card, he's feeling like he's missing out on something, like, there's something lacking in his life, the nectar, the good stuff. The nectar is the fun stuff, the good things in life. He's feeling like he's missing out on that, so he's got a drive to go toward the feminine. But at the moment, it seems perhaps that's where his Nine of Swords, his anxiety is coming from. He's had this vision, supposed to be with the divine feminine, but the riddle, that's the overthinking it. That's the, is it even true? Like, am I fooling myself here? The vision. It's like what we've all been through. We've all been through as divine feminines too. It's like, well, I've had this vision, but is it even true? Am I just making it up? Should I trust that? Should I take action on it? No, that's really scary. What am I going to do? Tell them, oh, I had a vision of us. You feel like an idiot while they're going, you're like woo-woo crazy pants or something. That's the fear, probably, if he acts on that vision. He needs confirmation from the divine feminine because he's afraid that it's going to mess things up. Divine feminine. Woo-woo crazy pants. The orphan. This almost came out on Wednesday for the divine feminine too. So she's feeling like alone, left out, orphaned, by herself. I had a weirdest dream last night. It's because yesterday, I had a gorgeous day yesterday. I went to boxing, to Muay Thai in the morning, training, that was good. And then I spent pretty much the whole day by the pool on a beanbag reading. And then went to CrossFit in the afternoon, went back out by the pool to finish that book because I only had like 2 chapters left, and then came back in, ate and all that kind of stuff. It was such a good day. That's the good thing about being quiet in my business, is that I get complete days off like that just to myself. Makes a big difference. Makes a big difference because the day before I'd done this show, my videos and everything, and I was figuring out editing these videos, just to get the microphone and stuff sorted out. And so I had a lot more editing than I usually would, so I finished work much later than I usually would. And I had half an hour before it was time to go to CrossFit, so I went by the pool and I sat there to read for half an hour. And then as soon as I sat down and started reading, I thought, I've not done the weekly reads. I'm like, damn it. So I rushed back in. I was so disappointed. I rushed back in and did those weekly reads, and then, and then got a message from my friends saying, Claire, do you want a lift to CrossFit? Are you going to CrossFit? Do you want a lift to CrossFit? And I said, no, I'm good. People feel sorry for me because I ride my bicycle, but it's a choice. I like riding my bicycle. So I'm just trying to finish off this work and get there on time. I got there way before she did. She's always late. And and I still had a little bit to do when I got back, but that is not good. And yesterday was perfect because I didn't have anything to do and it was just so nice. Anyway, the book that I was reading that I finished, it really interesting story, but about a woman in a marriage that was just, well, terrible, really. Terrible. He was just cheating on her. She was just looking after him like he was a child. He was being a kid, you know, just working, then coming back and then going out with his mates and going off with other women and all of that kind of thing. Meanwhile, she's cooking and cleaning and all of that kind of thing for him. Bizarre. She'd kind of not realised that this is what she was doing. Anyway, there was all of that going on. And she got on holiday and they met this woman and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, it leached into my dream, that book. And my ex-husband was in my dream. And it appears a character like the woman that she met when she was on holiday was in my dream as well. So bizarre. Sounds like your ex-husband, really. You know you're in codependency then if you've been serving someone like that, or just, you know, following what we've been told to do as women. But that's our job, our role. Anyway, the orphan, she's feeling left out. We've got Alethea. I'm going to have to look it up. Alethea. Alethea. Meaning. Truth or disclosure. What's Alethea the goddess of? Ooh, the truth, goddess of truth. What is Alethea in the Bible? The reality, the manifested, unconcealed essence of matter. That's more confusing than anything. Alethea. Truth or disclosure in philosophy. Anyway, it's about truth, Alicia. And the maiden. The maiden is that young energy. The truth of who she is. Left out. The one that misses out. The maiden suggests like a young energy, like it's time, like I've missed out my whole life, it's time for me to receive now. I know that this is the truth, I always deserved more and I haven't had more. It's my time now. To start again kind of thing, the maiden. It's like a youthful energy in it. The heart. Wow. Romance. And what else? And there's 2 rings there as well. The tear, sadness, self, and gnosis. Oops, there's that knowing again, gnosis. That's what we were talking about. The knowing, when you just know something. That's gnosis. But the sadness in her heart, self, it could be about being alone, the orphan wound. But there's a knowing about what she deserves now, and that she deserves it. I mean, it's her time now. No more of this orphan being left out. Feminine communication, direct communication, yeah. Whoo. It's like I will leave myself out. I know I've been left out, but I'll leave myself out until I'm given exactly what I deserve. Gnosis, let's just check that out. Gnosis meaning. Knowledge of spiritual mysteries. What does the term gnosis literally mean? It means literally knowledge. It's a Greek noun for knowledge. Humanity's real nature is divine, leading to the deliverance of the divine spark within humanity from the constraints of earthly existence. It means knowledge or awareness. Oh. Often used for personal knowledge compared with intellectual knowledge. Yeah. So it's that knowing. It's like the difference between knowing someone and knowing a thing, knowing a fact. It's the difference between connaître and savoir in French. Savoir is just like savoir-faire, you know what to do. I know how to make a cup of tea. Connaître is knowing somebody. It's like deeply knowing something. Interesting messages today, don't you think? Well, okay, well, get yourselves ready for that. I know there's a certain somebody coming back into my life today. We'll see what happens. But now that's given me more of a what's going on kind of thing. Why he's holding back. Okay, that's what I've got. Thanks everyone for coming along. Let's do it all over. Oh, it's the weekend. Let's do it all over again on Monday. As I said before, I'm going to be doing a pick a card read later, and it's going to be how does your person feel about you? So check that out. Don't forget to comment on all my videos because that really helps. YouTube will put my videos out there more when you comment on them. It seems to be the only thing that works now. Likes, I think it does something, but not much as comments. Knowing intuitively without being told something directly. That's it, yeah. Got to tap into that. So let's regroup on Monday and see how it all goes. See if we've got any movement forward. What else? That's it. That's it. That's all I want to say. Yeah, we've got nothing else coming up. Okay, well, have a good one, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. I can't believe time flies now, doesn't it? It goes so fast. Ridiculous. Anyway, have a good weekend, and I'll see you all on Monday.